If you've ever felt like your workplace is running in circles trying to fix the same problems over and over again, you're not alone. Most companies spend years reacting to issues instead of actually solving them. But what if I told you there's a proven way to stop that cycle, and it's the secret behind every successful Six Sigma project? Today, we're talking about DMAIC, the backbone of Six Sigma problem solving, and how this one simple framework can turn chaos into clarity. Let's start with the basics. DMAIC is an acronym for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, and Control. It's the structured method used in Six Sigma certification programs around the world to fix broken processes. But unlike random brainstorming sessions or guesswork, DMAIC is fact-based. It's about understanding problems through data, not opinions. Imagine your company's customer service department keeps getting complaints about long wait times. Instead of jumping straight to hiring more people or adding new software, DMAIC tells you to stop, take a breath, and define the problem precisely. That's the D. You'd start by asking, what exactly is the problem? Who's affected? And why does it matter? Maybe you discover that the real issue isn't just long calls, it's that calls spike at certain times of day. And no one's monitoring staffing patterns. Once you define the problem, you move to the M, measure. Here's where the Six Sigma mindset really shines. You collect data, not just anecdotes, to understand what's happening. For our call center example, you might measure average call duration, how many calls come in per hour, and how many agents are available. Without this data, you're driving blind. Next comes A, analyze. This is the detective phase. You look for patterns, bottlenecks, and causes behind the numbers. Maybe you notice that calls from one region take twice as long because the system is slower there. Or maybe training gaps mean certain agents spend more time navigating screens than solving problems. The analyze phase separates assumptions from reality. Then we hit I, improve. This is where most people want to start, but in Six Sigma, it's the fourth step for a reason. You now know the root cause, so your solution is targeted. Maybe you adjust shift schedules to match call volume. Maybe you simplify a form that takes agents too long to fill out. The improvements are backed by evidence, not guesses. Finally, there's C, control. This is the part that makes changes stick. You don't just fix the problem once, you build systems so it stays fixed. You create dashboards, checklists, or audits to ensure that the improvements last. In our example, that might mean weekly performance reports or automated alerts when wait times exceed a threshold. What's amazing about DMAIC is how universal it is. You can apply it in manufacturing, healthcare, IT, finance, or even your personal life. Think about how many times we improve something, only to watch it fall apart a few weeks later. DMAIC prevents that by building sustainability right into the process. But here's the catch: many teams misuse it. One of the most common pitfalls is skipping the define phase because it feels too slow. People want action now, not analysis. But when you rush, you often fix the wrong problem. Another mistake? Collecting tons of data without actually analyzing it. Remember, the goal isn't more data, it's meaningful insight. Another trap is thinking of DMAIC as just a checklist. It's not. It's a mindset shift. Instead of asking, what's wrong, you learn to ask, what does the data tell us? That subtle difference is what separates an average manager from a Six Sigma leader. And if you're pursuing your Six Sigma certification, mastering DMAIC is essential. Every belt level, white, yellow, green, or black, uses DMAIC as the foundation. The more fluent you become with it, the more valuable you become to your organization. Companies love employees who can solve problems systematically instead of relying on guesswork. Let's look at a real-world mini-case. A mid-sized manufacturer had a major issue with defective parts. Their first instinct was to blame the machines. But after applying DMAIC, they discovered the real issue was operator error due to inconsistent training. Once they standardized the process and controlled for training quality, their defect rate dropped by 45% in 3 months. That's the power of DMAIC. It uncovers truths hiding in plain sight. DMAIC also changes how teams communicate. In traditional meetings, people argue based on opinions. But when you use DMAIC, discussions become collaborative because decisions are rooted in evidence. Suddenly, it's not about who's right, it's about what's right for the process. One key takeaway is that DMAIC isn't just for fixing problems, it's for preventing them. When you apply it regularly, you start spotting issues before they become costly. That's why Six Sigma professionals are always in demand. They bring order to complexity. So the next time you face a frustrating issue at work, whether it's a delayed project, unhappy customer, or quality failure, try thinking through DMAIC. Define the problem clearly, measure what's really happening, analyze the root causes, improve with purpose, and control to sustain your success. The beauty of Six Sigma isn't in fancy statistics. It's in the discipline of following a process that works. And DMAIC is that process. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's repeatable. If you're serious about standing out in your career, getting your Six Sigma certification is one of the smartest investments you can make. It proves you don't just talk about improvement, you know how to deliver it. Thanks for listening. And remember, continuous improvement isn't a one-time event. It's a habit, and DMAIC is how you build it.